All right, let's talk about a couple tweaks that we could make to a closing pitch or during your presentation. Now, that being said, there's no right way to try and close or pitch your services. I'm not going to stand up here on my high horse and say that. These are just a couple things that I do personally that I find to help me when I'm in the latter half of the pitch. So in in the pitch, if they're not ready to be sold or primed, closing is going to be more difficult. That's when you're going to get a lot of objections around, you know what, I liked what you said, let me take this to my accountant, or let me ask my partner, or you know what, come back next week, let me think about it. If you're getting those objections, you tried closing when they weren't ready to be closed, or they're just not ready to close. So you push them too far. What do I mean by primed? So it's getting a prospect to the point where they'll agree to your offer. So you want to inquire rather than exclaim. And I'll go over what I mean by that in the next slide. And you want to subtly create doubt without being aggressive. So if you come out and just call them out on the mistakes they made with their merchant account or whatever service you're selling, you're going to come off, what's the word for it, confrontational, and they're going to clam up, they're going to get reserved, and more walls are going to go up. At that point, you might as well leave. It's going to be very difficult breaking down those walls again to regain their trust. So we have to subtly create doubt without coming across confrontational. So what did I mean by exclamatory versus inquiring or questioning? So most people will go in, they're in the presentation, they do the bill assessment, they'll say, Susan, after looking at your bill from example payments, we'll be saving you around $259 per month. They'll be all excited about it. They're trying to get the merchant excited about it. And well, that's all well and good. That's leading to them having to agree to that. You want to make it easier on the end of the statement to make it agreeable. So the inverse of that would be, Susan, I checked what you were paying with example payments. If I could save you around $259 next month, would you be against that? And you want to change your inflection at the end of it. So it's to basically lead them to the answer that you want. Who would be against that? Well, someone that's stubborn and doesn't want to deal with a salesperson. You're never going to win that person. But the majority of people, they're going to say no. They're not against that. You want to create doubt to win trust. So creating doubt is the easiest way I've found, or the one I like to use the most to build the trust. I don't like to build a lot of trust around classic sales questions about the weather and all of this stuff. I would rather have them trust me by teaching them something. So I frame my questions in subtle ways that make the merchant start to question their processor. I don't have to come out and say, example payments is wrong for your business, Susan. I can ask her a question that will make her think example payments is wrong for her business without me ever saying anything about them. So when they answer the question, it'll naturally move them to your way of thinking because they're saying what you're expecting them to say, and it's going to line up with moving them throughout the process of the sale. You're not going to want them to give answers that move them away from signing the contract. Obviously, that's not good for anybody. So the questions you ask, the right answer has to be framed to move them to the next step in the process. So what are some examples of this? So the old way of doing it, or a different way of doing it, Susan, we can set you up with either the Clover or the PAX A920. I think they're going to be much better options than the VX520 that you currently use. They're going to do this, they're going to do this, they're going to do this. Look at how it looks. It looks way better. And that's the way it would be framed in that scenario. The way I would ask, like, if I were in that scenario and I'm at the presentation stage where I'm trying to gain their interest, I would say, Susan, can I ask, why did example payments set you up with the outdated model? Or did you buy it off eBay? Did you see how I changed my voice during those statements and questions? I said, can I ask? I wanted her to do a favor for me because it's a little bit of agreement if she lets me continue that. You're not going to get someone say, no, you can't ask immediately after you say that. So it's a micro agreement. Why did example payments set you up with an outdated model? I didn't say it was a bad terminal. I didn't say example payments was a bad company. I inferred that she's using an old model that could be upgraded. That's what I'm inferring. I didn't say it though. She's going to think it. Or did you buy it off eBay? And the way I asked that question after I said outdated model, it's inferring that buying it off eBay is not the best route to take because no one's customizing anything for her. Whereas if you go with me, let's say, I'll get you this, I'll get you this, I'll get you this option. Let's see which one works best for you. But I inferred that eBay, buying them off eBay was a negative for her. Next one. All right, Susan, when we're looking at the bill here, you're currently getting charged a PCI fee of $25. You know what? Say goodbye. We're going to get rid of that for you. And I think that's how most people are trained to go through a bill. They're going to say, you're currently getting charged this, we're going to charge you this, or we're going to waive that fee for you. What I like to do when I see a bill, not that it's often anymore, or if someone tells me a fee, let's say they get charged, I would say, Susan, I see on your bill here, you're losing $25 a month PCI. Do you know what that's for? Like, what is PCI? And then have Susan answer, hey, do you know what PCI is? Most of the time, I don't have a percentage, but most of the time, Susan is not going to be able to tell you why she's losing $25 a month to PCI. It's further solidifying her subconsciously, if we want to call it that, moving towards the idea of switching, because she's now told herself, well, I'm paying this and I don't even know what I'm paying it for. And then once you see her struggle a little bit to answer that, or she blatantly tells you, I don't know what that's for, then you tell her what it's for, and then you tell her what you charge. Next example. We have been known to have the best customer service, Susan, so you don't have to worry about calling that 1-800 number anymore. You can call this number, you can text us, you can email us. We have the best customer service. We have the best customer service. We have the best customer service, Susan. Best way to say an example of this one is to just show you, channel your inner Dwight Schrute and Jim Halpert. So call someone at your company and see how fast they pick up. Now, maybe you want to have a voicemail or something like that set up. That sounds like I don't know how you want to work the logistics of it. I'm just showing you the way to think about answering the question. So the whole video was, I wanted to put it out to show you one tweak at the end of the pitch that will make it easier to close deals with people that are interested. So they've let you present to them. You've talked about numbers, all that stuff, and you're ready to close. What is one thing we can do to raise the percentage of people that end up signing up with us rather than the people that just flake or say no, or say, I'm going to stay with whoever I'm with, or whatever they want to say at the end of the sale? And I would suggest is to get them to say no. All right, so what do I mean by getting them to say no? Because obviously we want them to say yes, sign the contract, get our terminal, get our POS. We want all that stuff, and hopefully they want it. So at the end of the close, how do we reframe the answer they're going to give to be a positive, but makes it easier for them to say it? Because subconsciously, we love saying no. We love to be in control. So the one saying no, or has the responsibility of saying yes or no, has all the control in that instant. So we want to make it as easy as possible for them to agree with us rather than turn us down, aka the standard no. Whereas if you're at the end of the sale process and you're asking them to get started, like, hey, Susan, do you want to get started like this week or next week? Hey, Susan, do you want to get started on the cash discount program? It's a yes, no answer, essentially. Her easy out is to say no. If she's not sold, if she doesn't trust you enough, it's an easy out to say no. Whereas the harder route for her is to say yes, because that means you're in a contract now, you're agreeing to work with this company, I got to cancel my other company. It's a harder decision to make to say yes to buying that car than no to buying that car. It's very easy to say no to someone. The way to reframe that so that when she says no, it's working for us and it's easier for her to say no, remember that, we would just reframe the question to say, Susan, are you against getting started today? Is there anything stopping you? The result of that, no. That's assuming you can move forward now. So the easy opt-in, her saying no, but the no being the positive response in that scenario. Whereas if I ask Susan, are you against getting started today, Susan? Yes, I am. That's much harder to say than no, I'm not against it, because we don't want to be against it. We're hopefully for it because it's easier to make that decision based on the way you framed it. So I hope that helps. If you input that into your pitch, or if you're on the phone or you're in the field or you're selling leads online, let me know if reframing the end of the sale to say, Mike, are you afraid, or not afraid, are you against getting started today? Is there anything stop? Like, do you want to get started today? See the difference there? Are you against getting started today? Do you want to get started today? You want them to say no instead of framing it to be a yes answer. So I hope that little tweak helps you. If you don't understand or you want me to explain it more or go over some more examples, you know where to find me. Send me a message on Facebook or email me if you have my email, and have a great day.